Well, hello there. It's been a little while since we sat down together and talked. Well, I guess I'm always sitting down, but grab yourself a chair. Let's have a little retrospective on kind of where we've come from, where we're at, and where we want to go. And with the conclusion of season 10, it's had a lot of time to kind of think back and plan for the future. And I've got a bit of news to break, by the way. The last few Scar vlogs have not been very positive, so hopefully maybe we could break that trend today. And as I said, I've been doing a retrospective of where I've come from, where I'm at, where I want to go. I found that over the last couple of years, I haven't really been, and I really had to be honest with this with myself, is that I haven't been in a great place. And during the pandemic years, I had quite a few life crises within our family and myself, and those things at the time needed managing, and they needed to be sorted out in the moment without emotions. And they just things needed to be sorted out. And in that time, we had multiple family members pass away. We had my dad dealt with a severe medical emergency that kind of shaped the way we live today. There were so many life-changing events in such fast order. And then it kind of ended up where in 2021, I got a very bad infection. Took a little bit to figure it out. And then eventually it was like, what's going on? It was multiple trips to the emergency room, ambulance rides to the ICU because I have critical lab values, going back to get a PICC line for antibiotics, eventually going through a surgery to correct it, but also ending up on a ventilator for 4 days in the ICU, trying to recover from the surgery. And all of these things really hit in a really fast order. And like I said, sometimes you're just trying to get to the next day and you push off those emotions, but emotions from these things will all have to be dealt with eventually. And it felt like every time you were about to kind of like process it and move to the next stage, you were hit with another one. And I think it all culminated when Jelly passed. It was kind of like the last kick. And it definitely sent me into a little bit of a spiral to eventually just kind of like cocoon myself into these four walls and do what was safe and was easy and was comfortable. So just kind of stayed here. And by doing that, I think is not a bad thing, because sometimes you do need to rest. You do need to process those things. But when it starts to take too long, or you start isolating yourself too much, is when it becomes a problem. So I realized, like, by doing that, I have not experienced a lot. I've not created new memories. And for content's sake, I feel like I haven't taken the risks that I used to in the past. You know, taking a risk with this video or that. I've just kind of done what I felt was safe. And that, I feel like, really came to view when B-Dubs took time out of his day to teach me some new things with a mod called Axiom, just an incredible mod. And I was so appreciative of him spending his time to teach me that. And also looking at like Mumbo, so inspiring with his like move to becoming a builder. Like, he already know he's a fantastic redstoner, but he's become a fantastic builder in such a short amount of time. It was so inspiring, and it really hit me. And I was like, wow, you know, reflecting that it's so cool to be around people like this. That's so inspiring. You really need to find people that uplift you and inspire you rather than people that bring you down. You want to find those people who uplift you, like a B-Dubs or a Mumbo. And I was like, man, I really need to learn new things. I really need to experience new things and to build a visual library and to create new tools, you know, talking specifically about content. Like, I feel like I've created no new tools to change and innovate my videos. I feel like they're not terrible, but they just haven't taken any new risks in a while. And that's because I've just been so tired and so beaten down that it took a while to kind of like to rest and let those kind of emotions kind of settle and move forward from there. Maybe it's possible, as one of these new tools that I said that I'd like to learn is redstone. Maybe I could become the world's most below average redstoner, and I could sprinkle a little bit of redstone throughout my builds to bring more life and more energy to them. And when it comes to like being creative, you do need to eventually get out and experience things and create new memories, because we all have a visual library within our mind. And when we're called to create something, we pull from the library all the little visuals and ideas and thoughts that we have, and we put it together with our fingers and we create the tapestry and then create what we want. And when you're not experiencing new things and creating new memories, eventually that library of your imagination gets a little dusty. Those books start getting checked out and not replaced. And I want to start checking in some more books to those areas again and get out there more and experience new things so that when the time comes, especially speaking for content, like I've got a lot of cool ideas that I can then put into my videos. And that's what's kind of got me a little bit more like inspired, trying to like knock down these four walls and get kind of out of that like soft, comfortable position, but take a little risk. This video in particular is an incredible risk. It has taken me 1 week to get the courage to make this video, but an anxious mess because it just felt like, oh, I don't know. And no, I took the risk and I'm making it. So I'm being vulnerable, be nice. And it's the same thing with going and doing vlogs again. We haven't done one since 2019 when we would take our vlog camera and we'd film going to TwitchCon or Minecon, RIP, or the charity events, etc. And every time recently that I've wanted to, I get out the vlog camera and I start overthinking. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to do it. No, we're going to put that mindset aside. We're going to look towards the future and take those risks. And I don't know. I'm inspired by that. Travel days are so stressful, but what's not stressful is today's video sponsor. Factor delivers fresh, never frozen meals directly to my door, and they can be heated in minutes via the microwave. And on a busy day trying to get everything ready for travel, that is a relief knowing what's for dinner. But that's not all. Factor has ready-to-go meals that require no heating, and you can assemble this on a train, an automobile, a boat, or even a stagecoach because you don't want to partake in that expensive airline food or head over to that old gas station when Factor's got your back with this delicious, balanced meal. Just a little assembly, and you've got yourself an absolutely stunning and delicious meal at your fingertips. And that's not all. Factor doubled the size of its menu with double the seafood and protein options. No refined seed oils, no refined sugars, just real food from Factor. So head over to factor75.com or click the link below and use code SCARFB50 to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for a year. That's code SCARFB50 at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free breakfast for a year. Offer only valid for new customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. The big news, which is very exciting and it's kind of a big risk, is that I will be leaving this room by moving to a new house. I built my channel in this room, so it's a little interesting to say we will be saying goodbye to our room here. But as I stand now today, this is my life. These four walls, 14 hours a day, working or sleeping, and this is where I live. But soon we'll be moving to a new house where I'll be able to separate my office and my bedroom and have a little bit more space, and especially it being more accessible and definitely more safe for my parents. So as we age, it's a safer, more accessible house. But the best part about this is what I'm excited about. This is the big news. Are you ready? Is that there's a little bit of land. And by getting out, knocking down these walls and experiencing life a bit more, I want to create a channel that's like going out and adventuring and creating farm content. So there's a little bit of land, and I thought, we could put on our sunflower hat, we could plant some sunflowers, we could create a vegetable garden, we could maybe get a beehive, we could put on the suit with the smoke, boop, boop, and, like pull up the hive, give it a couple licks. We could do all sorts of fun things together. And by doing that, I think it will allow me to remember that I can still do things, to get out of that mindset of just kind of like living in these four walls and like trying to be safe, but get out, take those risks to do these things, and to remind myself that I still can. Even though I might be on four wheels and do things a little differently than other people, doesn't mean it's wrong, doesn't mean it's bad, it's just a different way. And by doing that, also, I hope to inspire other people who might feel similar and see like, oh, Scar can do that, I can do that too, what the heck? So I think that could be something really fun. So yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking, but that's okay. I think it's okay to be a bit uncomfortable again and to be a little nervous and be a little scared, because that's where the biggest rewards and that's where the biggest adventures come from. And it's not bad to kind of take a minute and kind of rest, but it's also good to kind of rise yourself up and take some new risks, some new experiences in life. And yeah, still terrified I made this video. So I hope you enjoyed, and from the bottom of my scarred heart, thank you. Thank you for always showing support. Thank you for always showing up. I cannot thank you enough. And I hope by creating content and creating things that make you laugh or smile, hope I give back to you all of the things you've given me. So thank you so much from the bottom of my scarred heart. And yeah, got a lot in store. And always keep an eye on the horizon. Remember, there's always a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.